have a baby. I am pregnant. I can't believe it's time to make this video. I'm scared. I already feel so protective over this baby, and I've kept it so secret from the world, and now I'm like sharing it, so I feel very nervous, but I'm very excited. I wish Jace was here to be in the video with me, but he has to work, so he's not here today. We went yesterday to LA to take our announcement photos, and I'm getting ready to put that post together to post with this video, but if you're watching this, you've probably already seen the post. It just feels surreal to sit here and talk about this now after everything that we've been through this year. I have no sort of plan or outline for this video, so I'm just sitting here talking to you like we're on a FaceTime, which is some of my favorite videos to watch. So there's no big like announcement video or anything, but I thought I'd take you through kind of the year and how I found out and things like that. Earlier this year, I found out I was pregnant for the very first time in my whole life. I haven't really talked much about how I found out and all of those things, but basically one day my mom, Jace, and I were at our other house that we lived in. I was like spotting kind of weird, which my period is very regular. I just had like a weird feeling. I was like, can you go get me a pregnancy test to Jace? So he went to the store and got me one, which is something we've done before. Like I'll ask him to go get a pregnancy test. So it wasn't out of the ordinary for me to ask him to go get a test, because we've been like, all right, we've done this before. It's always negative, whatever. Let's just be sure, because my mom had brought wine over that night and I wanted to have a glass of wine. So I'm like, let's make sure, just in case. Because I was thinking like, oh, implantation bleeding, I've read about that. And so I take the test and immediately it's positive. It's like one of the ones with the 2 lines, like across the line. I freak out because I've never been pregnant before, and I'm terrified of being pregnant and terrified of throwing up, like irrational fear. But I really want kids, so I knew at some point like I'm gonna have to go through that and deal with it. But anyways, that's what was going through my mind the very first time. So it's like shock, being terrified, and then excitement. So I immediately tell Jace, like he's sitting right there while I took the test anyways. We're like in disbelief. We tell my mom. I call like my family. I'm like telling everyone, and I just found out, which they say not to tell people until 12 weeks just to make sure, because the chance of miscarriage goes like way down. But we were so excited, so we told his parents, we told my mom was there, we told my dad, we told my brother and his family, and just we were excited. Well, a couple days later, I don't remember the exact timeline, but in the same week I had a miscarriage, and it was traumatic. Basically, I was bleeding a little more and I had a lot of cramping. So I went to the ER. They did the ultrasound. She like didn't say a word. It was silent. She was basically like, oh, it's gonna feel like a little pressure as they like ram this thing up you. So she wasn't saying anything to me, and I just like knew that something was wrong, because I felt like if it wasn't, she would have said something. Anyways, I had to get my HCG levels tested over the next couple days to confirm it was a miscarriage. There was no heartbeat, and it was very traumatic. That was my first experience ever being pregnant, and it was horrible. It was terrifying. And then after that, when we're thinking about trying again, it's like the joy of it, or like the first time excitement, is ripped away because of that first experience that was so traumatic. So every time I would take a pregnancy test, I would be scared that it was gonna be positive, but I'd also be scared that it was gonna be negative, if that makes sense. And so we didn't really try for a long time, because as I've talked about before, I went through like a very depressive state after all of this, obviously. I wasn't in a place to even wanna go through that again, because it's possible. And I couldn't do it. Fast forward like 6 months, and we're not trying, but like we're all adults here. We weren't like specifically trying, basically. I wake up one morning and I have this feeling in my stomach, like the second I woke up, it's like ravenous hunger. And I'm like, I'm pregnant. Like that's the first thing that came into my mind. I'm like, I'm pregnant. I'm starving. Like the most hungry I've ever felt in my life. Right when I woke up, and it was like this gnawing feeling in my stomach, like eat something now or you're gonna literally die. So I told Jace that I felt like something was different. I don't know if I said I felt pregnant, but I'm like, something's weird. And my friend had sent me these like little stick like ovulation and pregnancy tests. They're not like the ones you buy at the store, but they're like, you know, the little tiny ones. They're cheaper to buy when you're like testing all the time. So she had sent me that, and I went and I grabbed one, peed on it, and I was looking at it. It was my first time using one of these tests, and it just showed up one line. So I'm like, ugh, whatever. Like, there's another negative pregnancy test, and I threw it out. I go about the day, and I'm still feeling like something feels different. I'm very, very in tune with my body because I've been sick a lot of my life, and I have a lot of chronic illness. So like, if there's a minor shift in how I'm feeling, it's very apparent to me. And so the next day, I'm like, I wake up again, same feeling. And it's like, something's going on, like there's something. And I think I'm pregnant. So again, I go and I get this bag that she sent me of these tests, and I read the instructions, which I didn't do the day before. And it says like the amount of time that you're supposed to wait to see if another line actually does appear. And I didn't wait that long the day before. I just saw that like no line showed up, and it was like, okay, this is negative. Big mistake. So as I'm reading the instructions, I'm like, could it be that the other test was positive and I just didn't wait long enough? Anyway, I grab another one of these little stick tests, and I go to pee on it. And this time I set it on the counter, and I walk back to the bathroom with a pregnancy test that's a clear blue digital test that will just say pregnant or not pregnant. And I filmed it thinking it was gonna be negative, but like it immediately is like positive, the digital test. And also at this point in time, I had not missed my period yet. This is like too soon to even know that you're pregnant. So I'm like, no, something's not right. I'm like so shocked. I have a video of it, I'll post on TikTok, but I was just like in pure shock. And then like immediate fear comes over me, and I go and tell Jace, and then I'm like sobbing, crying, because I'm so scared that something bad is gonna happen again. I'm terrified of having another miscarriage and having to experience that. So I don't even allow myself to get excited at that point. I mean, I was, but at the same time, I was trying to be so cautious and not feel like attached, or, you know, just that first time you see that positive pregnancy test and you're so excited. I didn't really let myself get there because I couldn't. I was so scared. Now we're far enough along that if something is gonna go wrong, it's gonna be very rare. I'm just so hopeful and grateful, and we've been so excited. After I passed through the first trimester, like at that point, once I hit like 14 weeks, I was like, okay, maybe everything's gonna be okay and I don't have to be so scared. That's just like the reality of pregnancy after loss, I guess. There's a lot of women that I follow now that have experienced loss and then pregnancy, and they say the same thing. So I'm grateful to have like that online community to be able to relate to and just feel not so alone in that. And now I hope to be someone for anyone who's watching that may have gone through the same thing and can relate. I want to do more pregnancy related videos. I've been so excited about talking about it, and my experience with the first trimester that literally tried to kill me. Like, that tried to take me out. But also I've had good experiences too, so I want to share and talk about it. Maybe I'll do like a Q&A on Instagram, or do like a first trimester symptoms and like experience video here during Vlogmas. We do know the gender, and we're gonna share that somehow. I don't know how I want to do that yet. We're just so excited now, and we can't wait to have this little baby. I can't even believe it. Even like this week is the first week that I'll like look at my stomach and be like, there's literally a baby in there. Because I still feel like, to me, it looks like I could just be really bloated. I'll stand up and I'll show you in a second. But my mom and Jace tell me all the time, like, no, you're pregnant. You could tell, you have a little bump, but it's taken me so long to get one. They told me I have, my uterus is backwards or tilted backwards or something, and that can make it so that you don't show as early. And also it's a first time pregnancy getting to this point, so it can take a little bit longer for that bump to come in, but it's finally come in a little bit. Okay, there's a little bump. I'm sure in a few months I'll look back and be like, you literally had no bump at this time. But baby's in there, and baby is growing. We have an ultrasound next week for our anatomy scan. So far all of our blood work has come back good and normal, which is amazing. So grateful for that. I felt baby move this week. I was getting so nervous because I'm online way too much. I'm on Google, I'm on Reddit reading everyone else's stories, and it's like, when did you feel the baby move for the first time? And I knew that because my uterus is backwards or tilted back or whatever it is, that I might not feel it as early as other people do, and also because it's a first-time pregnancy. I've been scared the whole time to feel it. Like, I want to feel it because I want to know baby's okay, but at the same time I'm like, is that gonna feel really crazy like an alien's in there? It does, but not in a bad way. I felt it for the first time like 3 days ago, and it feels like a quick little like swoosh in your stomach, like a little rumble. Every day it's gotten like a little bit more, and I can feel baby in there moving around. I can't even believe it. And this one has not left my side. He lays on my stomach. That was another thing that in the very beginning, before I took a pregnancy test, he would lay across my stomach. He's always on me, but the way he was laying was different, and it made me think like, does he know something that I don't know? Oh, baby. He's such a mommy's boy. You're gonna have to share. You're gonna have to share your mommy. Anyway, he lays across my stomach all the time now, and it's so sweet. And he's always just on me. He could tell when I'm not feeling well. I have so many videos of him laying on me and just being like so sweet during the first trimester. No, because I literally didn't think I was gonna make it through. I thought, how do people do this? If you have any questions, leave it in the comments, or I'll do a Q&A on Instagram or something, but I'm interested to know if anybody cares to see any pregnancy related videos. My channel won't be turning into like a mommy blogger channel or anything. I already said I feel so protective over baby. Pregnancy is my journey and not the baby's journey, obviously. I want to share that because it's exciting and scary and all of that. I just talked so much. Oh my gosh, it's been so hard to not talk about how tired I am or how hungry I am or like the weird things I want to eat. Like the other day when I wanted pierogi for breakfast, I was like, someone's gonna comment, someone's gonna know, because it's like such a weird thing to be like, I have to have pierogies right now. But nobody did. I guess that's being respectful. That's a good thing that nobody commented. I have tried to sprinkle a few little Easter eggs here and there that like something was happening, but nobody caught on to it. So either I'm just like so slick or not. Maybe it's opposite and I'm not slick at all. Let me show you my little bump. We just took some pregnancy pictures today. Baby is in there. I also just ate the biggest bowl of spaghetti you could ever imagine. My crease right here from sitting right now, just the shape of my stomach has changed. Like it's so rounded here. From the front you can kind of tell only if my pants go down to here, because you can kind of see the shape. I can't believe it. Like I said, up until I felt baby move this week, I was like convinced that it wasn't even real. Like I'm like, did I gaslight myself into thinking I'm pregnant? Because once the second, like I still have symptoms though, don't get me wrong, but I was just so convinced that there was not anything in there, even though we'd go get the ultrasound pictures and there would be a literal full baby in there. But it's like I didn't feel anything until this week, so I was convinced it wasn't real. Like I thought I was crazy. I have so much more to share about the pregnancy and our plans and baby's room, doing a nursery, and just all the stuff that we've bought so far for baby and everything like that. So you'll be seeing a lot of that from me this Vlogmas. And now I feel like I can finally share like what I'm eating and what I'm doing for the whole day, because a lot of the time in these vlogs so far, I've been like, I can't share like half of the day because it would have given it away, and I wanted to wait until I felt comfortable to share. And that's now. So that's it for this little FaceTime. I just wanted to share the news, and I'm gonna go finish getting ready to post this. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Don't play games in the mosh pit. It's a pop punk Christmas.